To be honest, I don't think we should talk about news this week. I think the most commented thing, we should just give up all pretense and just turn this into a site about biscuits. Biscuits pwn.
I agree.
And biscuit buzz.
If we've learnt anything this week, it's that people care a lot more about biscuits than they do about games.
Very true. I mean, the thing is, it's kind of like one of those things where people having to go back to installs and like, oh, what do I do while I'm installing? I mean, I want to play this game right now. What do I do? They go eat a biscuit. Exactly. It's a universal truth. They go back and they eat biscuits. So why not just cut it all out and just talk about biscuits?
Biscuit cast.
We could at least put it into videos now.
Well, biscuits.
Always be eating biscuits. And see if like biscuit manufacturers might send us biscuits.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I've actually got McVitie's caramels right next to me right now.
It's like, which is the best biscuit to eat during...
really?
Yes!
It's too busy, Matt. It's too busy.
Not too busy. What does that even mean?
You know what it means, Matt. You know in your heart of heart, there's too much going on.
There's not
it lacks the classic simplicity of the chocolate digestive.
The chocolate digestive is too bland.
No, it's not too bland. It's delicious. It's got everything right there. It's got chocolate digestive. And then it's like...
Let's
put in a little
layer of... Let's
put in a little syrupy extra, bit of extra...
Ninja, please!
Kids, listen.
But the thing is, you won because you mentioned the penguin straw.
Shortbread's the right one.
Shortbread is the thing that just sucks all the moisture out of your mouth. The best one you said is penguin straw.
Stop spitting. Oh, well, to be fair, no, that is...
Penguin straw.
Shortbread is very good.
Penguin straw, baby.
Penguin straws are all you need. Cup of tea, penguin straw.
Oh yeah. It doesn't work so well with coffee, I find.
No, never coffee. But I say we put it to our listeners, which is right the best biscuit for eating while you're playing Call of Duty,
or in fact any specific game.
Any specific game, yeah. If you've got biscuits,
best gaming biscuit.
Because you don't really want anything too chocolatey. If it's a game that's got lots of moment-to-moment action, you'll end up getting chocolate all over your fingers and little bits of horrible caramel all over your fingers. Whereas if you got something like a bourbon, not a bourbon. A bourbon is sometimes useful depending on the quality of the game.
Sometimes useful depending on the quality of the game.
Best turbo penguin straw. Double bourbon, sopping it through a straw.
Double bourbon straw.
Knob Creek penguin straw.
Never Knob Creek.
No. Never.
But yes, do let us know, dear listeners, what your favourite gaming biscuits are and why.
Yeah, damn right.
Oh, party rings.
Forgot about party rings. Yeah, party rings.
You can't have a party without party rings.
You won't get sticky fingers either, and you won't smear it all over your controller.
You will get crumbs, maybe iced gems because they're actually kind of
bite size. You can just throw them up and catch them in your mouth. Yeah,
exactly right. Which will make you feel awesome, which will then impact on your game because you'll be like, "I'm awesome."
I think we can all agree
the confidence builder.
Yeah, we can all agree that biscuits are eminently superior to Doritos and Mountain Dew while gaming.
Like, definitely.
We all agree
tea and biscuits, obviously, unless you're John, and then you introduce your hot beverage to a keyboard.
Well, yes, I mean, basic computer operation 101, don't balance a litre of coffee in a sort of inverted, sort of V-shaped mug. To your working environment.
Definitely don't do that.
On the other hand, my laptop does, smell of rich, dark roast. Also, I was able to. I ended up managing
swings and roundabouts. Really.
I managed to end up, I lifted up the keyboard tray and ended up dunking most of the coffee out of it. Although I've got a lot of crumbs in the got a lot of crumbs in my heatsink now. So it swings and roundabouts, as you say.
Right, let's do the game buzz. That was Biscuit Cast because we're waiting for feedback now. We're waiting for feedback. We want listeners to tell us. We want you guys to tell us what biscuits you like in terms of gaming, and that'll be awesome. Let's talk about a little bit of news. Let's talk about the fact that the PS4 and the Xbox One are completely identical consoles, pretty much according to good old Mikami.
That's good. I only have to buy one then. That's fine. I just walk into the shop and get the first one I see and be done with it.
That's pretty much what he said. He said that they're pretty much identical. Why isn't there just one console? Why?
Well, what he's saying is that from a developmental standpoint, they're both exactly the same. I mean, of course they're different because one of them's a black box with a controller, and one of them, the other one, is slanty.
Basically, what he's trying to say is all consoles look the same, and act the same and behave the same. That's what he's saying.
They are pretty much the same.
That's not actually what he's saying. What he's saying is that
no, it is,
in an interview with Edge magazine, what he said was that as a developer, both consoles are practically identical to develop for. And what he's effectively saying is, yes, the PS4 does have superior on-paper specs, but Microsoft boosted the clock speed of the Xbox One at the 11th hour, and make up for the slightly slower RAM, bear in mind, exactly the same amount of RAM, with the sort of embedded SRAM that gives it a bit of extra speed when it comes to pushing graphics through.
So basically, it's basically like developing for PC, because there are loads of PCs out there of varying specs, but they're all the same, so you just develop for that platform.
The same.
So it's all the same, basically. This is one of the positive things we've been saying about next gen. Everyone's been saying about next gen. So it's like, oh god, yes, similar architecture, basically high-end PC architecture. Development's going to be such a cinch. But Mikami turned around and basically said, why do I need to make 2 different versions? It's just why? Why do I need to do that? Why does he need to do that?
He doesn't. That's awesome. Apart from he'll need one where you can say like you can use Kinect. It can be better.
One.
The evil within could be better with Kinect. It can detect how like freaked out you are and deliver it directly to the NSA.
Do you know what though? Like we've actually, when we were talking about wearable computing and sort of biometrics in the past regarding to Valve, we all said that was a great idea. Yep. Especially if you've got like an in-game director kind of Left 4 Dead style. That'd be freaking awesome. Like heart rate's elevated a little bit. You can tell from the capillaries in your face.
Yeah, but clever players will just sort of
wear a mask,
grin, just smile the whole time.
No,
like,
it'll
grin,
know.
Like through their teeth the whole time. The game
will sat there,
it'll know.
Wearing that horse head mask.
It'll know.
It'll
still know.
Just your flatmate hooks. What are you doing? I'm fooling Kinect.
And then Kinect just goes, he's fooling no one. He's fooling no one, Dave. Just let him have his fun with the head. Just let him have fun. Although to be fair, if I got really stressed during the game, I'd hope that Kinect would go, okay, calm down, Carl. Have a biscuit. Have a biscuit. It'll be fine.
Well, we'll find that out next episode.
Yeah, exactly.
People will have spoken by then.
But yeah, basically, it's. I suppose he's saying, why do I have to develop? Well, money. Development for both consoles for the money.
Also, yeah, we've mentioned this before. Like having a single console would just be it'd just be terrible.
Yeah.
Like competition would go out the window. There's too many people invested in this. It's like we like console competition. Apart from stupid fanboys, it is just, and it's sort of because stupid fanboys as well, because they're quite funny sometimes. Console competition is absolutely brilliant. It forces Microsoft and Sony to go out to nurture talent, to make their consoles better through software, and that's win-win for the consumer.
It is, and it makes the games better too. It always has done. Like you look at the sort of the Mega Drive versus the SNES, that sort of escalation between both all their exclusive franchises going head to head. That's still going on now, and it does result in better games.
Yeah, Nintendo are only afloat because of all of the IPs forged through competition.
Exactly. Sonic versus Mario, Final Fantasy versus Phantasy Star, so many cracking exclusives, and that's still happening now. It'd be a damn shame to lose that. The only thing that, of course, remember Mikami's talking from a developmental standpoint here. I've said that about 19,000 times. But the one thing, of course, you've got to remember is that he got both consoles for free.
Yep.
There is one real difference between them, and that is that one costs £340 and the other one costs £430. So
there's that.
There's that. One of them has cloud power though, so that's good.
Still,
which Microsoft have just pleasingly shut up about this week. Makes a change.
Yeah, not waffling on about the cloud anymore. Now they're waffling on about the invitation, extending hands out to gamers saying, yeah, come and play. Like they've finally done some marketing. Yes!
That's exactly what they should be doing. I love it.
Like, that's kind of what we want. Okay, let's move on to another little console. Emphasis on the little, because it's quite small. Let's move on to the OUYA. I just want to talk briefly about the OUYA. Because Julie Ehrman came out this week and just said, look, we've made a whole bunch of mistakes. And we're going to keep making them because we're young and scrappy. Oh, yeah.
Yay! Ehrman making really glib and annoyingly upbeat, ridiculous statements instead of actually addressing problems. How wonderful. OUYA has been doing this all the time throughout the when they were rolling out the consoles to backers and the months since launch. Every time they do something wrong, they don't just fess up. They say, well, yeah, but we didn't really do it wrong. We're just, we're fun, we're funky. It's all part of the process, guys. Get with the program. It's so awesome. Yeah, it's OUYA time. And it's really like hashtag get some that dragon cancer. Yeah. Hashtag just let's have a little more professionalism about this, can we, OUYA? Because you know what I really want to love that console. I backed it. I still think it's got potential, even though there's just the time is just running out. I mean, time has arguably already run out for that thing. But I'd like to see the company just bring out a statement and say, look, okay, fair enough. We need more games. We're going to take that money we were going to spend on the like the Free the Games Fund and spend it on, I don't know, actually getting off our asses and doing some A&R rather than making developers jump through hoops. You know, like actually going out there and finding some developers with games that would be a good fit for the platform.
That's
and
ridiculous.
This is the key part: paying them.
No.
Rather than making them do everything themselves, then make a Kickstarter campaign and or just totally exploit it, and then crowdfund it all off their own back, and then maybe give them some money, even if it's a game that actually isn't necessarily a good fit for the platform and will only necessarily be like a 6 months exclusive at most.
It's not looking great for the OUYA.
No, it's not. And they said they've made some mistakes. Yeah, they've made some mistakes. And a few of these weren't mistakes. A few of these were just the fact that a lot of third-party software partners were super excited a few months ago and then failed to deliver at launch. I mean, that's kind of out of OUYA's hands. But there are a lot of things they could be doing now. They keep saying they're going to keep making mistakes, and it's annoying because it's clear that they just need to, A, do some advertising that doesn't involve vomit adverts, like horrible vomitous YouTube videos, and get some games. Go and find developers who are making interesting prototypes that would work well with the OUYA's specific controller with its little touchpad, and that are colourful and interesting and exciting and can't be found anywhere else, and give them a tight budget to work with. And then
profit.
We might buy one. Woo! I mean, there's other steps in there as well, like, actually bringing in the whole achievements and friends list thing that they promised, and also not making us install a game and then find out whether it's free or freemium or trial and unlock.
Yeah, I mean, I think we said this when we said this briefly when we were talking about the Mojo as well. I just think that the whole microconsole middle ground, I'm not entirely sure it's there. I'm not entirely sure if they aren't trying to force something that's actually not there.
Yeah, I wrote this in once I'd really got to grips with the OUYA over the first sort of 2 months since launch. You're absolutely right. The fact is, an Android microconsole is just a middleman between your Android games and the television, and we don't even need it. There are loads of little Android dongles that you can just get the apps that you've already got and install the APKs that you've already got on, plug into your HDMI, you're good to go. And they themselves are a stopgap because we're moving towards native streaming between your mobile device and televisions.
Yeah.
It's already happens now. And, there are smart TVs with Google Play in them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a market that I don't think has any... I don't think there's any future in it. And more to the point, there's no future in it because the only people who'll ever make money out of it are Google. And they can't be bothered to make one.
No.
Because they know that there's no point. Because they own the only marketplace that's ever going to work. They're the only people who get paid for the games that people will buy on these consoles. So it's a nonsense. And I think the OUYA could maybe find its niche as a sort of hacking and homebrew console. I'd really like to see some more applications on that front. But that's incredibly niche and is not, it's not a console per se. It's more of an Android curio.
It's quite an interesting looking paperweight.
Yeah, it is. Although it's only useful as a paperweight because they literally nailed steel plates into the bottom of it. Anyway, so yeah, OUYA has made mistakes. OUYA will continue to make mistakes, but they'd better hope that they also do some stuff right and do it soon, because otherwise that little thing is going to piss all of its remaining potential up the wall.
Yep. Yeah. Do you know what wouldn't be a mistake?
What wouldn't be a mistake?
Itsuno making Dragon's Dogma 2. Awkward segue!
Yeah! Flying into segueing into free.
Segueing.
I feel the segue again.
Segues in my veins. Yeah.
I'm changing subjects again.
Oh, yes.
But I just rhymed again with again, so arguably we can iterate on that. But
because Carl should have done it really. I mean, you are a resident rapper.
It's very true. I need to actually play Dragon's Dogma though, so I can feel it. Feel what you guys feel.
You've got it. You didn't. You download it as part of PlayStation Plus.
Oh yeah, it's downloaded. I just haven't started playing it. There's just other stuff to play. It's just so much.
Point though, Matt. Remember, Carl, you got the Dark Arisen version, didn't you?
Yes, I did, which means I don't get the main music. But yeah, that's what YouTube's for. YouTube is there.
But yeah, okay. So Hideaki Itsuno basically said that actually he'd be really up for making both a full sequel to Dragon's Dogma, which we thought could have been Deep Down, but it's really not Deep Down. It's really not Deep Down, although Deep Down does look like a bunch of fun. And he also says he wants to make Devil May Cry 5. Yeah. Seeing as he also made Devil May Cry 3 and 4.
As well as a miniature garden simulation.
Yes.
Which... Okay.
So, arguably, he needs to channel his experience more with the brawler side of things, perhaps, for Dragon's Dogma. And maybe we could have a little garden in Dragon's Dogma too.
Oh, yeah.
A little dragon garden.
A bit of farming. That'd be nice.
Dragon fruit.
Harvest Moon meets Dragon's Dogma. Snapdragons.
Yeah.
Snapdragon's Dogma.
There we go.
Yeah, and actually, the first comment on that post came up was from one of our regulars, Quietus, who basically said, "We want Devil Dragon's Dog May Cry." And that is something, Matt, I remember when we were first talking about this, when we were talking about it in the podcast directly after Dragon's Dogma launched, that was what we kind of wanted. Like, there are great combats there, the monsters are there, but we wanted that little bit of extra flavour, that sort of zany, crazy, off-the-wall personality of DMC to seep through into Dragon's Dogma. And I think the sequel could really capitalise on that, rather than doing what Dark Arisen did and say, "Hey, look, there's Dark Souls. Let's do that."
Well, this is the thing. Like, the biggest criticism we had of Dragon's Dogma was that Groundsys just wasn't that interesting at all.
No.
So yeah, coupling that combat with a little bit of like a zany setting, maybe some ridiculous plots, that would be awesome. That would be great.
Yeah, like, I want to drive up a fucking dragon in a motorcycle and then slide down it on a sword. While rock music. This is the key. Rock
Turn
music
it into
plays
Metal
in the
Gear
background.
Rising Dogma Dragon.
And also, and bring some of the colourful sort of art design and personality of the Monster Hunter series into it, because, they're Capcom, they can. And, well, admittedly, if they do that, Monster Hunter will instantly become obsolete. But it will also sell like hotcakes in the West.
So what you're saying is they should really just sort of collaborate with Platinum.
Maybe.
That's your answer to everything. Although
that is actually genuinely our answer to everything. Get Platinum in there.
Yeah, but don't. Yeah, they could get Platinum in there. But on the other hand, they have Hideaki Itsuno. He's actually pretty good at that stuff himself.
I
Like,
really liked DMC.
don't get me wrong, he also directed Devil May Cry 2, which was a pile of shit. But he did he did 3 and 4. He thoroughly redeemed himself, and Dragon's Dogma 1, of course. So we want him to do this. This is why isn't he doing this? What is he doing?
He should be doing this.
Probably gardening. So,
Oh,
gardening simulator.
Snapdragon's Dogma.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Oh dear. What in terms of Devil May Cry? In terms of Devil May Cry 5 potentially, what would we foresee with that? Because DMC was meant to be like obviously this reboot. It was pretty divisive, but actually it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, and it was billed as a reboot, but it was arguably more of a prequel as well. Like Ninja Theory left it in such a way that it could be totally standalone, or in fact, due to a blatantly obvious thing that happens at the end that I won't spoil, it could actually just be a prequel. Kind of, apart from the whole Virgil situation. But yeah, they've left it open. I would suggest that Devil May Cry 5 would say DMC was cool. We're going to completely ignore that it happened, but maybe take some inspiration from Ninja Theory's really lovely fluid combos and yeah, maybe bring a bit. Thing is, I missed old Dante, new Dante, whatever you want to call him, Dante, however you pronounce it, was absolutely the right man for that setting, that slightly grim sort of urban, depressing, kind of very current, very topical setting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need crazy ass personality back. We need pizza eating, ridiculous, insane, totally arrogant and awesome Dante back.
Yeah, best worst moments of drama in video game history, Dante. That's what we need.
Filling Dark Souls with light.
Yes.
We also need that. We also need that wicked guitar weapon back as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, that guitar weapon was awesome. I forget exactly what it was called, but I really enjoyed that.
So basically, it's just please make the games that are in your head.
Yeah.
Like just please make them. We want them.
Mm-hmm.
We want them in and around our faces. That'd be lovely. Awkward segue number 2. Do you know what we don't want in and around our faces? Pokemon DLC. Yeah. What? But that's good because neither do Game Freak. Although they are making us pay for Pokemon Bank. So...
Yes. So there's that. Yeah, basically, Ken Sugimori, who is basically the man when it comes to Pokemon.
He is a legend.
He's the guy his designs, his artwork defines what Pokemon is supposed to look like. And that's one of my favorite things about X and Y, slightly off topic, but the art style in that game basically brings his drawings to life. It's amazing. The battles are absolutely fantastic. But, he said, effectively, it would ruin the personality of the series. It would ruin the whole gotta catch them all kind of vibe, the whole sort of philosophy of hard work and paying off and finally getting this team of Pokemon and striving through the whole game to get them would be totally undermined if you were then just able to buy them from a marketplace. Yeah. And he's right.
He's totally
and it's good to hear him say that. And also, there is the point that he doesn't, Game Freak doesn't need, and the Pokemon company doesn't need to sell DLC because Pokemon makes a huge amount of its money from, all the merchandise and the anime licensing and the films and the gacha capsules and the spin-offs.
Exactly. It's a transmedia leviathan.
Oh, and don't forget the TCG.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge earner for them. So they don't need DLC. And, long may that continue, frankly. DLC would not fit with the personality of the series. And they've correctly identified that. So that is good news. As far as Bank is concerned, yeah, Bank will require a subscription if you want to upload your Pokemon to the cloud. If you want to do that. I can't currently see the benefits of doing that unless you're... Well, actually, I can't see any benefits to doing that at the moment.
Well, I think it's basically insurance. It's basically if you get your Pokemon cartridge nicked or something, or that's the impression I got. It's basically like you can you can get it again and just download all your Pokemon, and they'll still be there. So there's 700 plus Pokemon that you need to catch now. Like, they'll still all be there. That'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it will start to earn its keep and start to make more sense when later Pokemon games come out, perhaps also on different platforms.
Yeah.
They'd be well placed to roll out, say, a free-to-play Pokemon game online that you could just bring your Pokemon from Pokemon Bank into, say.
Yeah.
Or they could bring out, if they brought out a Wii U game, they really shouldn't make that use Pokemon Bank. They should let you just wirelessly sync your 3DS with it, obviously. But, that is something they could do. But the more importantly, the transfer app will be free to use.
That's awesome.
So we will soon be able to get our Pokemon from Black and White 2 into X and Y.
Hooray! That means I don't have to catch 300 Pokemon. I can just have...
Yay! Although you will anyway.
Yeah, I definitely will. I've been playing it for like 15 hours. I've only got one gym badge.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a sensational Pokemon game. There's still a few ways in which it could seriously improve and a few disappointments. It's all there in the review.
I agree, and I agree what you mean about the Lumio City.
Lumio City
it's really bland.
Pants, isn't it?
It's balls.
The problem is, it's clear that they went to Paris to do some research, and here's the problem. Paris is kinda exactly like Lumio City. They based it too heavily on what Paris is actually like. It is actually pretty bland. It is actually
identical cafes.
The cafes are ridiculous. I mean, why they are identical with blank signage. I mean, come on. Just put the name of the cafe on the sign, for God's sake. And also, don't totally corrupt our save files if we save in the Boulevard.
That'd be
don't
nice.
do that. That'd be nice if that didn't happen. Have you found the crazy ass ghost girl yet?
No.
Oh right. Oh no, you can only find her when you return to the city later on.
Yeah, they still got the blackout going on.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Right. Last point for the week. Last point. Back onto the Game Buzz. Back onto news. I want to touch on this thing that Infinity Ward's Mark Rubin said. He said something very strange, which was that sort of many Call of Duty players they aren't hardcore gamers or even gamers at all. Basically drawing on the complete uselessness of this word gamer.
Yeah, that's the thing, because of course there's wherever this story crops up, there's a lot of backlash saying, "Oh my God, what are you saying? I'm totally a gamer," and that's fine. He's not saying you're not. What he's saying is that there are lots of people who don't identify themselves as gamers and don't choose to. This is the key: who don't choose to identify themselves by their pastime, by their hobby.
Mm.
There is a huge audience out there who just play Call of Duty sometimes and enjoy it. And they don't identify themselves as gamers. They don't identify themselves as hardcore gamers. They may not even buy or play many other games beyond Call of Duty. They may not, they may not join clans. They may not compete in the most competitive levels. They just play it because it's fun, like as a hobby. It's just something they do in amongst other activities, other pastimes.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely right. There is this huge casual audience out there, and there's nothing wrong with that, because gaming is hugely, hugely inclusive, and we've all got to remember that. We've got to remember that gaming isn't. It's not like it was years ago when we were gamers and that was a thing that marked us out. Gaming is hugely inclusive now. Anyone can do it on any number of platforms, and anyone can play games, and you don't have to identify yourself as a gamer to do it. No,
it's beautiful. I think it's kind of ironic as well, because it's clear the people that are sort of railing against this sort of thing is people with heavy chips on their shoulder. And actually, back in the day, I don't know about like those guys, but I would have killed for more people to be into games, whatever they call themselves, right? Like, more people are playing games than ever before. Who cares what they call themselves? That's awesome. That's really good. It's really good for us, actually, professionally as well. Cause,
I think it would have been more accurate if he'd in fact said most Call of Duty players aren't 16 or even 15. That might have been slightly more accurate. Damn squeakers. Yeah, gaming, that is a byproduct and a side effect of games being so inclusive, and of course the bizarre age rating situation in the US. But yeah, I think this is a good thing. I think he's right to point this out, and you've got to bear in mind he's not telling you that you're not a hardcore gamer. You can identify yourself how you want. He's just saying that many people who play Call of Duty also do other stuff, and maybe don't invest in gaming as a hobby. Instead, they just have an Xbox 360 to watch some entertainment stuff on, play maybe a bit of Madden, crush some beer bongs. Oh God, I'm generalizing massively here.
Got out the Doritos.
Oh, here we go. No, stop generalizing. No.
Wait, no. We've already established this. Got out the biscuits and the tea.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Although no, biscuits and tea are for hardcore gamers.
We've come full circle now. That's quite
nice.
Yes. Awesome. So yeah, in coming full circle, do remember, dear listener, that we want to know what floats your boat in terms of gaming biscuits. What biscuits do you have beside your controller? Do let us know in the comments box below. Do let us know if you've got any suggestions or questions or messages or anything like that. But until next time, I think that's the end of this week. I think I'm going to go play the Stanley Parable now.
As well you should, because oh yeah, that's the thing you should all do, by the way.
Or not.
Like,
go play it, but also don't play it. Frankly, that's a little in joke there for you for when you actually do play it. So do play it.
Yes. Because, very good.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's magnificent. Go and do it. Also, the Wolf Among Us.
Definitely.
Go and actually no, don't buy the Wolf Among Us yet. Wait. Really, what you should do is wait until at least episode 3.
And then binge.
Really, and then binge. That's really what you should do. Because
with a cup of tea and a biscuit.
1.
That's not how it works. That's no, that's not.
Yeah, because you've got to pay for a season pass right now. So, you know. Just saying.
Sorry, Telltale.
Sorry.
The Wolf Among Us episode 1 is magnificent, but the smart thing to do is wait. The right thing to do is go and play the shit.
The right thing to do is play the shit out of it and then talk about it, because that's totally the whole point of Telltale stuff. You do awesome shit. You find out what other people chose to do as well. You chat about it. That's part.
And then your save files don't transfer between episodes.
Yeah, they are buggy as balls, but yeah, no, they are really buggy. Telltale, seriously, sort it the hell out. Just make sure you do. Like, none of this save file crap that happened with The Walking Dead. None of it, please. But yes, we will catch you guys next week. Let us know what your favourite biscuits are. Hit us up with any thoughts and opinions and suggestions or questions. And in the interim, have a good one and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had one of those biscuits that's like sort of round, but it's got like extra chocolate on it? It's got like a small round biscuit core, but it's got like really thick chocolate. Like a wheel shape, but it's
you get it in the Fox's.
Yeah, that's it. And they're selling them separately now as well. It's just called like extra thick chocolate biscuit, and it's just really good quality. All it is just a biscuit and really good quality chocolate, like no caramel at all. I don't know. Actually, really like that.
I realised I forgot to mention something that is clearly one of my favourites because I eat boxes of them in their entirety regularly.
Is it Pocky?
No, it's Cadbury's Fingers.
Oh, they are addictive.
Yeah, they are.
And animals.
Oh yeah.
They're not great for handheld gaming though, because you get that little sort of sheen on your thumbs, and it rubs off on the sort of either the touch.
Well, if you have animals, you can just get the bag and sort of tip them into your face.
Like chocolate animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
not like actual animals.
No, not like actual animals. Like, I don't have a lion in a box. That's not a thing.
Or a lion bar. No, it's more of a chocolate bar, though.
Yes, that's a chocolate bar. Like, Maltesers are kind of awkward.
Well, it's not quite as much of a contradiction in terms as the Jaffa cake, as has been brought up on site. I mean, that is a paradox.
Yeah, the big one is weird.
Like, kind of disappointing as well, really. Yeah. Although I'd totally love one right now.
It's sweet.
It would be sweet.
Yeah.
Covered in chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.